Hey everyone, how's it going? Standing here. Today I'm bringing you guys some Call of Duty Black Ops 4 beta gameplay, as well as some of my thoughts as to, I guess, what I think about the current state of the game. I think I will just to put it bluntly, I think this game has really insanely high potential as far as what I guess the maximum fun factor that this game could potentially reach, and I'm enjoying it. I think the Black Ops 4 beta has given me good signs, and contrary to all the big hate that there is on YouTube, I actually stand by this game in the fact that I do enjoy the 150 health. Armor's a little annoying, but personally I wouldn't know how else to fix it. Specialists don't heavily bother me. I do feel recon is a little bit strong. The little portal radar thing kind of is a little annoying, and I don't know if there's a counter to it. I don't know if Cold-Blooded actually counters it. If it does, please let me know in the comments below. And as far as perk 3 goes, really, as far as the current perks are, it feels a little bit unbalanced because I think Ghost is almost like a crutch perk, or Dead Silence. Speaking of Dead Silence, you can actually hear footsteps in this game, so maybe Dead Silence might be a crutch perk when it comes down to competitive play. But, I think the perk balancing maybe need a little bit of rethinking. So, that's just a thought. Now, on top of that, too, as far as the OPG game modes as well, there are some problems with it. But I'll get into that later. But I guess to just, once again, to summarize it, again, before I say anything negative about the game, I just wanted to make sure that it's plainly obvious that I do enjoy this game very much. I think it is one of the best, it has the potential to be the best COD game ever. I think it's what Treyarch has done here is really reinvented what the COD formula has been, or really not reinvented. That's a little bit of a far-fetched I guess tier to put it at, but it definitely feels very fresh, but it feels fluid. It feels like Call of Duty. It feels good to play. It just feels fast as well. Even without all the extra movements, it feels really, really fast, really, really fun. And the gameplay you're going to be seeing today is going to be one where it's going to be really early on. I think I just barely hit level 5 in this game. I might hit level 6 in this game too. But we're doing some Chaos TDM, and then later on in this video you're going to see a gameplay of me basically playing at level 25, which was the level cap yesterday, before they raised it again today to, I believe, 34. Currently I'm sitting at 31, so I've played it a decent amount to, I guess, finally give my, we're past the first impressions phase, I guess you could say. And yeah, so just a little bit of background of how much I've touched on this game. But first things first, I guess we'll start off with some things that really bother me. As far as, I guess, the armor goes, I don't know. Armor just feels very, very, in this case, it's it essentially guarantees you your first kill. It's like ballistic vest. It's kind of a way to save your ass. Obviously, if the medic crash, I think he's considered the medic. If crash gives you a ballistic vest, I understand that that's a specialist ability. What you get every 2 minutes or something like that, and so for that to happen, I get it. It's a specialist ability, and if everyone gets on the team, then it's whatever. But it's not like every single time you hit square after dying, you suddenly get this advantage on the next gunfight that you have. Essentially, it sort of acts like a death streak. And so, personally, I don't think it's a very good addition to the game, especially since we already have 150 health. Which, by the way, isn't a bad thing. I think the 150 health doesn't really bother me too much. As far as gameplay goes, it's just when the armor steps in, then it really begins to show just how much health someone might have.
They're done.
So, I think armor, I don't know how they fix armor. I mean, I get that there are armor-piercing rounds, but once again, if armor becomes a big deal, then armor-piercing rounds become a crutch thing. And I know, if Treyarch's proven anything, they don't want anything that's, I guess you could say, crutch. So, I don't think that's too bad, but like I said, maybe there's a new way to balance it. Personally, I have no clue, but if there is, that'd be great. Now, the next thing is, as far as spawning goes, I think this game has some really weird, wonky spawns when it comes down to OPG game modes. I played a little bit of Hardpoint, not enough to really make a huge comment about the, what's it called, I guess, spawns in that game. However, As far as domination goes, spawns are really, really wonky, like really, really freaking wonky. And so for me, that makes me think like, okay, I don't, it's domination, like, don't get me wrong, you know, I think spawn trapping, something like that, is really, really broken and shouldn't belong in a game, right? You should flip spawns as soon as that spawn trapping begins to happen, right? And that's why, you know, in Black Ops 3, that was a huge issue. I mean, we're seeing people, like, literally shoot the brecci into, what's it called, walls or whatever, and basically, like, at Nuketown, they spawn trap the guys, and they got a ton of kills. You know, like 400 kills or something like that on Nuketown, and that's ridiculous. You know, and I see why Treyarch is taking countermeasures to counter that. However, when you take it to the degree that Treyarch is done with this game, it breaks the flow of this game. Now I get that Vonderhaar wanted to break the flow of the game, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, the thing is, you don't want to break the flow of the game where the game doesn't feel fun to play anymore. So I think as far as spawning goes, they could probably fix it. You know, I think the old spawn system could use a little more work in this beta. I don't know how I would do it. Maybe like when sentry guns are placed down, you know, they have to, I don't know, maybe you could limit it down sentry guns and you can place on the field. You know, I personally I don't have much of an idea of how I would personally want to engage it, but you know, we'll have to see. But yeah, so that's just what I have to say about spawns. It's nothing too insane. And then I know a lot of people also complained about frame rate issues. Personally, I haven't had them, and I guess there have been some connection issues too, but I think personally for me, I haven't lagged out at all. I don't think. I don't recall ever me lagging out. I've had people lag out from my lobby though, so it's happened. But you know, as far as frame rate issues and lag issues go, I personally haven't been fortunate enough to not run into them. So you know, I can't really make a comment about that. But from other people streaming stuff, there's been a couple of frame rate issues and stuff. And keep in mind, I'm playing on like launch PlayStation 4. You know, so you know, take it as you will. But yeah, so just keep that in mind too, and obviously I guess I've definitely list that as one of the cons for this game. Yeah. Now I guess that's really all that there is as far as the negative points of this game. I don't think that you know, there's anything more that I would really personally like hate. So you know, some of the special ability, I feel like once competitive begins to lay itself out, you might begin to see how these abilities might be broken or not be or be too strong. But as far as currently is, it doesn't really bother me as much. So that's how it is. But yeah, that's pretty much all the negatives that I have for, well, this game. You know, so now as far as the good sides of this game, oh man, there's plenty. Just first of all, lightly touching over it, gameplay itself, I would say it feels like Black Ops 3 but fine-tuned to the highest potential that Black Ops 3 could be fine-tuned to. Just the game feels very fluid, feels fast, the sliding, and even without all the boost jumping and stuff, you're actually able to get up to like windows and stuff, and you don't have to be afraid of someone just camping up a window. There's nothing you can do about it, you know. And so that's what I really liked about this game. And as far as hit detection goes, I feel it's been pretty on point for me. And then, you know, specialists, you know, I'm a fan of Recon. I do feel sometimes he could be a bit strong, but I mean, it's not a completely doesn't bother me as much. I think you know, I think like someone like Firebreak, like he definitely is nowhere near as strong as he once was. So that is, oh, excuse me, that is very, very cool. I'm really glad for that. Like that little, also that little shock drone thing, like the fact that it doesn't what's it called, like gives you a chance to fight back. It's really, really nice. So it's really, really nice. Now as far as like gunplay goes and stuff, all the guns feel good, it sounds good, and then, you know, with the added nice, I guess, hit detection, it feels like a fun, it just feels like a good game to play. You know, it feels like classic Call of Duty, except faster and faster and faster, you know. And, you know, with the new 150 health, I feel like it gives you more leeway to outplay someone rather than just you getting melted right away. And so, you know, obviously over time we'll see how that carries out, but in the 31 level or 32 levels that I played, I've been enjoying it. And as far as score streaks go, oh, that is one of the negatives actually. Score streaks don't feel very strong in this game. Like, they feel very, very weak. You know, hailstorms. Generally, everyone's using blind eye or cold blooded, so I can't really see anyone. As far as what's it called? Like, say attack chopper, it kind of is like retarded. You know, it just kind of just sits there and doesn't do anything. And so, you know, I mean, really the only thing that's helpful is UAV. And you know, I mean, normally I ran, you know, UAV counter UAV Blackbird anyways, because I believe, you know, intel is honestly your best weapon. So that's always great. But you know, I think the kill streaks should be buffed a little bit more. I don't think you should lower the score for them to make them easier to achieve. Because I don't need UAV spam this, right? Otherwise, Ghost would become a crush perk, you know. But as far as, say, you know, like just the strength of the kill streaks, if you earn them, you should be able to just, you know, get them to suppress enemies, you know. After all, you worked for them, right? So it's really, really nice. Don't get me wrong. That I guess they're tuning it in such a way that, you know, you don't want kill streaks to slam the other team, but at the same time you want it to feel rewarding, you know. So I hope that they manage to find that balance, because currently right now I feel that they're definitely on the weaker side. And especially in Black Ops 3, since you could literally shoot down anything. I mean, even EMPs can be shut down if you shoot down the drone. Haters sometimes don't even get a chance to scan over 2 times, you know, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So we'll just see how these score streaks end up interacting with each other in the other games. But currently for me so far, I think it should be it could use a little bit of a buff. Now, as far as the manual healing goes, I think it's a great addition to the game, because of the fact that with manual healing, what ends up happening is that you can, someone shoots you in the back, turn a corner, slam the healing button, then you can outplay him, you know. Because before, if they slam you in the back, you really didn't have any chance to counter it. And so, with that being said, you're just thinking to yourself like, well, you know, now I got better hope that, you know, he does some stupid, or he doesn't have the aim to keep up, you know, which, you know, is unfortunate. But I guess in this game, since you have 150 health, plus the fact that you're able to like, what is it called, stim pack yourself back up, it's really a great addition to be able to outplay someone. So it's really, really nice. Now, besides the whole health thing, I think besides that, there hasn't really been that much that bothers me. As far as maps go, I will agree in the fact that the maps don't really feel iconic in such a way that when I play these maps, I don't have a map that I'm like, oh man, this is great. You know, obviously, Seaside right here, as you see, this is one of my better maps. No, this is actually my best map, actually. I also think it's cool that it also tracks statistics and stuff on your maps, but this is one of my better maps, but it doesn't make me feel like back in the day when I wanted to play on Summit or anything like that, you know? And so, I think it could use a little bit more of, like, iconic maps, but I mean, we've been lacking that, I think, for a long time now. Like, you could argue that in Black Ops 3, you know, maybe you could say like, oh, Fringe maybe was iconic, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I only really like pushed myself to vote for Evac when it came up. You know, any other map, and even so, you know, Evac wasn't like, oh yeah, this is amazing, dude. You know, this is more like a whatever, you know, I guess like Evac's like just above the group for me as far as Black Ops 3 goes, you know. So it's a little unfortunate, but maybe we'll see more iconic maps once the full game comes out. So those are some things that, as far as maps goes anyways, those are some things that I hope to see some improvement in. What else? I guess one of the things too, one of the biggest worries that some people have too is that it looks really similar to Black Ops 3. And and it's like I said in the beginning, Black Ops 3, it sort of plays out like Black Ops 3 but without thrusters. But the thing is, it still feels super fast and fluid, you know. And so for me, it personally doesn't bother me, and you know, in fact I enjoy it and I welcome it, you know. So it's really nice. But I guess, like, if I were to just kind of sum this all up, you know, these are the major good things and bad things that stick out of my head. And, you know, if I were to sum these things up, like, if I had to make a decision right now, would I purchase this game? Yeah, you know, I think this game has done a phenomenal job. You know, this is the Call of Duty formula that I think that is fine-tuned and innovative, I guess you could say. And for me, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the full game launches and releases, and I think I'm gonna enjoy it very much. As far as the other game modes go, you know, I've been playing a lot of Chaos TDM, a decent amount of Domination actually, but I think the new Control mode was a blast to play. I played that and I had a lot of fun, especially since I was lagging too, because I was playing on European servers with my European friends, and you know, if I was able to enjoy the game and still pop off there, you know, it's to say that, you know, this game's connection should be pretty solid, even though it's in a beta. And so I've been enjoying it, you know, and so honestly, I'm excited to see where this game goes. If you guys have been like, maybe you don't even have to be a diehard Call of Duty fan, I think you will enjoy the multiplayer of this game. Just requires a little bit more teamwork. And although that teamwork thing does worry me, I don't think that it's one of those things that completely scare me away, because if anything, this is proof that, you know, you can still wreck as a solo player. You know, just when you run into a party, maybe you might have to rethink your situation, especially if you begin to like combo specialist abilities. So, you know, it's just things to keep in mind. I think at the end of the day, if you're a Call of Duty hater and you hated it with your guts and you refuse to play anything related to Call of Duty, I don't think this game will change your mind. But I think if you're on the edge, this is definitely worth, you know, and not to mention too, there are other game modes as well. So on that note though, hopefully that's comprehensive, but these are my first thoughts. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. It's all good, bro.